Hello to my good friend Tony Calabro. This is Brad Kipriotis from Sydney. The secret to my success with Tony was definitely having Brett Lee in the lesson before me. I'd get my mum to bring me in 10 to 15 minutes early every week just to sit in on Brett's lesson and basically get 2 lessons for the price of 1. But just to hear Tony play was so inspirational. So any time that I could spend with him was well worth it. I'd like to say congratulations, Tony, for all your service to the Gippsland community. And thank you personally for everything you've done for me and my family. Thank you.
G'day, Ro here. I just recorded this video only to find that the whole thing wasn't recording, so I'm going to keep this sort of brief. I'm absolutely stoked to be a part of this showcase on Tony. I think everyone would agree with me that he's deserving. He's 100% deserving of all the limelight possible. My background with Tony is about 10 or 11 years of lessons, and you know, I think I was actually just telling a student then that the first 5 of my time with Tony were, you know, I think I caused him a lot of headaches, but I think the aha moment, if I was to pinpoint one, was just one lesson where I came in probably with 20 minutes of preparation behind me. It was a little bit of a, you know, if you're going to do this, mate, do it properly, or see you later, you're out, get out of the room. And I think that turned things around for me. But look, 10 years holds a dump truckload of bloody lessons that have all had a ripple effect on everything that I've been doing. It's actually been foundational for my time in doing music. And yeah, I don't know, it's I can't say enough nice things about Tony. It's actually through Tony where I got the hookup with, or the contact of with Stevic, who is the other guitarist in 12 Foot Ninja, who also studied with Tony. And you know, I wouldn't have made that connection if it weren't for Tony. So that's probably the reason why I'm going through all that shenanigans now with 12 Foot Ninja. So look, Tony's one of those guys who their passion is completely contagious, and you know, I know a few people like that, but Tony's is it's rare, it's unique. His obsession for music really rubs off on you, and I always left his room inspired and ready to absolutely dominate. I'm trying not to swear. So anyway, I'm going to sign off there, and I'm going to leave you with you know, I have a lot of respect for Tony and his work, and I feel completely honoured and privileged to have spent the time with Tony that I did. So a big thank you, and I hope to catch up with you soon, mate. Cheers.
Tony Calabro, man. So here I am, bumping along a highway somewhere in the middle of America. I literally don't know where we are, but I do know that we just played a radio station in Wisconsin, so I'm assuming maybe we're still in Wisconsin. We're heading to Iowa today, but definitely a long way away from Lakes Entrance, Victoria, Australia. I was a kid. I was about 14 years old. I met a guy called Jack Jones, who was actually one of my heroes growing up. And because of that meeting, he told me about this amazing guitar teacher, Tony Calabro. We found a way of getting in touch with you, and you were too busy to take new students, but Jack picked up the phone and called you, and you made a space for me. Because you made that space for me, here I am today bumping along on a highway somewhere in the middle of America. So basically it's all your fault, Tony. Every single day I pick up the guitar, the exercises that you showed me, the knowledge that you gave to me is with me. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. I've had an amazing career, all the way from Lakes Entrance to Los Angeles to now currently residing in Las Vegas. Been fortunate enough to tour the world with Savage Garden for 4 or 5 years, and then I joined a band called Lifehouse for the last 12 years. The only band in the history of the Billboard charts to have 2 songs in the top 10 songs of the decade, the number 1 song, the number 6 song. And because of you, mate, I got the opportunity to do that. And now I'm proud to say I'm telling my own story. have a band called Elvis Monroe, and we are on country radio here in the United States, and it's growing, mate. We've got a new TV show coming out in July of this year that goes out to 64 million people worldwide. And once again, every single day I pick up this instrument, this thing that I fell in love with, and the stuff that you and I spent time painstakingly learning has really, really paved the path for me. So Tony, for you and your family, thank you. And I really appreciate you making the time for me when I was a kid. They made happy everything. Congrats on all your success. And I'm sure you have so many other success stories like myself because you took the time when nobody else did. Cheers, mate.
I recorded the greatest message ever a video ago, but my sound has gone weird, so I'm using this hands-free thing. Anyway, technology. Tony Calabro. When someone says, imagine an excellent guitar teacher with a holistic approach, a principle-focused person that cares passionately about imparting the wisdom of the greats onto anyone who comes to them for guitar lessons, I imagine a little Italian bloke named Tony Calabro. I gotta say, he definitely had a massive impact on me. Every lesson was like 50 lessons, and he somehow was able to change the fabric of time and space, and a 20-minute lesson had more content than I could keep up with in my teenage sort of years of prioritizing whatever I was prioritizing at the time. I wish I had have done more guitar stuff with Tony. Bloody legend. His sons became very good friends of mine, and I'm so grateful that those sliding door moments kind of occurred, and it led me to Tony for lessons. For those who don't know, the man is regarded highly by some of the world's greatest guitar players. Joe Pass, who's passed, Pat Martino, Erwin Thomas, Tommy Emmanuel. I mean, anyone who's encountered the bloke instantly recognises his dedication and excellence in the area of guitar teaching, which, might I add, it can be an extremely frustrating thing to do. And somehow Tony just stays cool, gets it done, and he really cares. And that is an unusual trait, someone to care so much. And you only have to look at his lawn to understand how much the man cares. And it's fantastic. And I still refer to books and tapes from lessons I had with Tony when I was 16 years old. Now I look like the weird uncle of that kid getting lessons from Tony. But I got to say, he without him, I wouldn't know what a major 7 chord was. I wouldn't know a lot of things. He sort of showed me what I didn't know on guitar, which in itself is an Inception type concept, but that's what you get when you put in hard work, and it's infectious. And I still think of the dedication and application that Tony had, and I admire it. I look at it as an adult and wonder how he was able to apply himself to learn what he learned. Like it's really quite a feat. So Tony, I don't see you enough. I wanted to just say I appreciate you, love ya, thank you for the lessons, and good on you, mate.
Tony, mate, how you going? Just wanted to say a big g'day from Los Angeles. Here I am in my studios here in North Hollywood, Prohibition Studios, and what can I say, mate? It's been 20 years since I left Australia. I can't even believe that. That's just nuts. All those years ago when I first started with you, and I think it was a Wednesday afternoon my lessons were, around 2:20, and I think I moved up to a double lesson there for a long time. For 8 years you put up with my crap and kicked my butt, and yeah, a lot of ups and downs, so much information, such a great foundation you gave me, and man, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here in Los Angeles living my dream, and that was my dream, to tour the world playing guitar, and I got to do that. I got to do that, see a lot of the world, playing guitar on big stages. I got to achieve my ultimate dream, and that was because of the foundation I got from you, and all those lessons, all those stuff you'd ram down the throat, and it was such great information, and the grounding I got, man, it just, wow. There's so much information I'm still pulling from, these days, and I'll always be a student, but man, I cannot thank you enough. I mean, I look back on those times, I still have all the tapes, all the lessons, when everyone else was not believing in my dreams, you were always the one who's like, yeah, if you work hard, you can achieve that. And that's what I walked away from our time together. So, you became, a mentor, a father figure, and changed my life, mate. And I know you've changed. I mean, God, when I first started with you, I knew you'd changed and taught thousands of people back then. So I can't even imagine how many people's lives you've changed now. And all my heroes like Jack, and of course your sons Daniel and John and Jacinta, Kippo and Brett Lee, and there was all these great players ahead of me that I looked up to, and everyone was so supportive and encouraging. Man, I wouldn't be where I am today without that initial step of calling Tony Calabro and booking in for a lesson. And instead of going to music school back then or to university, I went to Tony Calabro, and it was every week, man, it was a struggle. It was a test. I'd get really, really nervous going in to see you and to play for you and try to achieve everything that you wanted me to achieve that week. And man, I remember being so nervous sometimes because I just wanted to impress you so much. I wanted to be as good as I can be, and yeah, it was good times, man, really good times. And I look back on that, and as I say, I still have all the tapes, and maybe my kids will get to go through some of those tapes in the future. But I can't thank you enough for what you've done, and you've made a huge difference to a lot of people, and I love you. And thank you for everything that you did for me and being so patient and supportive. And I don't know if I've ever met, even with the people I get to hang out with today, Bruce Foreman and Scott Henderson and all these amazing players that I get to meet, I don't know if I've ever been matched with the passion that you've always had for music and learning and jazz. Man, it's still inspirational to this day, and yeah, from the bottom of my heart, mate, thank you. I hope to get home next year and see everyone. I'd love to see the Calabro family, and I'm so glad they're doing this. It's so well deserved, and miss you heaps, mate.
All right, well, it's about bloody time someone's done this. Tony, I love you. I miss you. It's been a long time since I last saw you, but I think about you every day. And I just feel so grateful for the time that we spent together, and so grateful and thankful to you for your commitment and generosity and compassion and love and stability and mentorship and many other things that you've been to me through my life. I have a pretty amazing life, and a lot of it is, playing music and being an active participant in the music community. And if it wasn't for our time, I'm sure that would be greatly diminished. I always remember you telling me to practice every day, practice at least an hour a day if you can. Don't expect to do 8 hours practice the day before your lesson and get your work done. You just got to do things every day, be consistent, be disciplined. And you always reminded me that I had the raw ability and the fire and the passion. And that stayed with me. That and something else that I was just telling someone about today. And I remember you saying to me, the grass isn't greener on the other side of the fence. It's greenest where you most water it. And I try to live by that every day, and that really stays with me, and many other things. You were really an incredibly supportive person in my life, and I miss you a lot. And I think about you all the time, and I'm just so grateful for who you've been to me. And I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope I get to see you marrying the kids soon. All the kids have moved away now, I suppose, haven't they? We're all friends on Facebook, though. Anyway, I'm so glad that you're being celebrated. And just so you know, you're celebrated by many of us every day. And it's nice for you to be recognized for your achievements and your contribution, because it continues to grow. And we are all thankful and hopefully worthy disciples of you out in the world. We keep flying the flag, and for good reason. I love you, mate. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you real soon. Okay? Love you, buddy. Thank you.